What up, everybody? Welcome to Coffee Hour with Paul Deuce, take two. For those that were on here earlier for our stream, I was trying out something new and yeah, not happy with that. So we're not going to be using that, but it was interesting little platform type of mod software, but not happy with that software. So anyway, back to the oldie but goodie. But at least, of course, you get my intro, coffee hour intro. So at least that's good, right? So at any rate, welcome to Coffee Hour, take two. For you that were over on TikTok, welcome. Those that are normal to the stream, welcome. And today we're going to be talking about the Fast Trax program. I'm going to be showing you the differences, or at least talking to the differences. Welcome from California out there. Thank you, James, as well. Over on Facebook. Of course, we got Facebook and YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram. Bunch of different ways we're going out there. And if they add any new, we'll add new ones. But till then, that's what we got. And thanks for joining me. So we're going to talk about the Fast Trax program a little bit, and I did this on a previous stream, and it didn't work real well, so we're going to give it another shot here. For those that are not familiar with who I am, my name is Paul Abernathy. I am the CEO and president of Electrical Code Academy Incorporated. I'm also the creator of the Fast Trax program, and it is a trademarked program that is designed to help people learn the National Electrical Code. There's a method to its madness. It's a lot of work that you have to do on your own, a lot of reading, and a lot of competency reviews you have to go through. But it's designed in a way that makes things repetitious and helps you learn. That's what that program's all about. It's trying to just beat into your head the understanding of the code, how it applies, and then we move you in and out of the code book. Of course, we'll look at that a little bit today. All right. So what I did on the other videos, I want to make sure I recap this for anybody that might be watching this. Now, this is live. I am doing this on the 14th of August, 2022, but you may watch it at a later date. So I want to recap real quick the differences between the Fast Trax Black and the Fast Trax Plus, really quick. The Fast Trax Black is our exam prep and NEC learning program. That is the base one, okay? The Fast Trax Plus is exactly the same. The only difference, the Plus means you get the annual membership to our website included in your purchase so that you don't have to purchase it separate. And there's videos there that aren't in the Fast Trax program. So some extra content that you can watch. Hundreds of hours of videos going back the last year or two. A lot of recordings from Wednesday nights, private sessions that you can watch, those type of things. So that's what the Plus is, okay? So it's different. The second thing is when you get the Plus program, you're going to get a separate email. Our Fast Trax program is hosted on a different server than our website. So don't confuse the two. The Plus you're going to use on our website. That's just to get our videos. But your course is going to be separate, right? That's over on a separate server. So don't confuse the two. I get that quite a bit from people confusing the two. Okay, so we make sure you don't confuse the two. Okay, let's see here. Something I've never done before. Let's see if I can. Twitch at the same time. I wonder if that'd be interesting. Okay. Anyway, we'll go same time. So, all right. So we're actually over on TikTok, I guess it is as well. For anybody following, if you're on TikTok, come on over to our website or come on over to youtube.com/master the NEC. Okay. All right. So we want to talk a little bit about it. So if you're preparing for an electrical exam, you need to make sure that you dedicate at least 96 to 100 hours of dedicated study. Now, our Fast Trax program, you get access to it for an entire year. Okay, so you'll get access for an entire year. You can log in 24/7, so, whatever you want, 365 days. It starts from the moment that you log in. Okay, now, let's say you get to the end of the year and you want to extend it. Well, we offer affordable extensions for you, but you have to do that within the last 30 days before your expiration. So I usually recommend to people that are joining the Fast Tracks program, I usually will recommend that they actually will make a note in a calendar when they register their program, because you won't get any notice from us when it's a renewal time. Okay. So again, you need to be aware of that when you do a renewal. Okay. So keep that in mind. For those over on TikTok, join us over on youtube.com/master the NEC. And you can join the live and see the screen and do everything. All right. All right, so let's go on and look and see here what we've got as far as the program real quick. So let's kind of switch gears. All right, so when you first get into the program, and I'll be manipulating the screen a little bit so that you kind of get an idea of what's going on. Now, in this course, this is what you get. So this is exactly what it'll look like in your portal when you register our Fast Tracks program. People ask, when you get our program, where do you put our course key in? Well, you put the course key in up there in the box in the top right where it says enter access code. Okay, so hold on here. I'll just move my mouse up there so you can see it right here. So this is where you enter your key. And once you enter that key, you'll get access to the course. Okay, so once you get the course in your portfolio, then you're going to click on it. So here is the Fast Tracks program. Kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. And I want to come back to the program so I can make sure that you can see everything on the screen. So this is what it'll look like. On the left side of it, you've got all of your information about your courses and whatnot. And then on the right side, you've got your navigation bars, okay, in the Fast Tracks. Now, I'll remind you, Fast Tracks Black and the Fast Tracks Plus program are exactly the same, okay? Exactly the same. So you want to make sure that you remember that, because the plus is what you're going to do on our website. Okay, that is not something that you're going to do on the Cengage platform. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. All right, so down the left side of it, again, you've got a bunch of other options. The courses that you purchased will all show up there. In this case will be our Fast Tracks, and this is the 2020 edition of the Fast Tracks. And you'll see that it's broken down into 5 sections. Then you'll see important videos, and then you'll see our licensing exam prep folder. And then you'll see residential, and of course, if I scroll down, you'll see commercial blueprints as well. So we're not only giving you what you need to learn to pass the exam, but we're also going to be sharing with you some blueprints and things like that, so you can get used to blueprint reading and whatnot like that as well. So make sure you do that. And again, anybody on TikTok, come on over to youtube.com/master the NEC and join us and watch the presentation. All right, so here's what we've got. So the first thing you're going to do if you're coming into the Fast Tracks program, you're going to want to go watch the video on how to use the Fast Tracks. It will walk you through the chevrons. It'll walk you through all the little pieces that you have to do in order to understand all the little features you have on the right, where you check your grading at and do all that kind of stuff. So all of that's kind of figured in to the program when you're in the console. Now I'll go on and get in there. And here's where you have all your information. You'll see your courses. These are the ones I have installed. And I'll go on and close that sidebar. So here's what you've got. So you want to go here and you'll go into the first one, and there's the program instructions. You watch this video right here first. If there's any corrections that I've made to the program, they're going to be in here. So they're going to be in your corrections tab. And I also try to correct it anywhere else. If there's something that I don't like in the book material, then I will correct it there for you. For example, something that the author of the original course book material that we use for the course, if there's something that I feel they did wrong, and there's a couple things that are, then I correct it, and that's where we put that information for you. So that's all in there in the program. So when you join our program, who joins our program? If you're struggling and you have to take your exam within at least 3 months, you can do it within 2 months, but 3 months is optimal. Okay. then you're going to want to study. For 3 months, you're going to be studying twice a week for 4 hours. Now, does that mean you have to follow that? No, it doesn't. That's your choice. You can study 4 times a week for 2 hours if you want. I mean, you can break it down how you want to study. But the key thing is to put in the amount of time that's necessary. Okay, that's the key, putting in the time. So, and for those over in TikTok, if you want to see what I'm looking at, go on over to youtube.com/master the NEC, and you can see what we're doing. So once you get in there, you'll also see that all of these sections are broken down. So the very first one is the introduction. You've got it broken down into reading material. You've got your review, you've got an assessment, and you've got drill work that you need to do. You need to do everything in here. Even you need to go into these folders and look at your flashcards and any videos that might be included in this. Before you even move out of this unit, you want to make sure, okay, that you've actually done everything in the unit, everything, before you move on. Now, the reading material, you click on reading, and it really is just that simple. You simply scroll through the material after you read it. In fact, I'll take you back to the introduction. There's a bunch of objectives that you're going to learn in each unit. You simply read through the material, okay? Now, there's a couple benefits that you have here in your console, okay? One of those is that you have a little feature whereas if you left click and drag it over, that it will actually read the information to you. So you left click and drag it, you'll get a pop-up screen. If I click read the text, it will read what I highlighted. Now this can be very beneficial if you've worked a heavy day, you're tired, you come home and you just want to go left click and just read the whole thing. You can also do that by clicking it right here. If your text is too small, maybe doing it on a tablet, then you can click this and increase the size of your text to make it a little easier to read. So those features are already built into the program for you to make it a little easier for you. But I'll give you an example of the text to speech here. I'll just do this and I'll let it read it.
Just as an extensive education is required for doctors to perform the duties of their chosen field, a working knowledge of the NEC is a necessity for anyone practicing a profession in the electrical industry.
Okay, so it reads it to you. You can change that speed. You can change the cadence of it. You can change the dialect of it. All of those things can be changed, and you simply just go right here to where it says read speaker. You click it, and here you can change it to fast, male, female voice, Australian, whatever you want. You can even sample it right here. I like the way it's reading. It sounds natural to me the way it reads. Anyway, that's a great feature. The other thing throughout the course is when we do Wednesday night sessions, I often tell students, if you're working in the program and there's something that you just don't understand, right? You're trying to learn the NEC. We're trying to walk you through this. You can go and highlight it, left click, and you can create a little highlight. And let's just say I want to make it this magenta color, and I click it. Now, every time you highlight something, you're going to go over here, and in your study hub, it's going to create a highlight. So you go down here where it says highlights, and you see this one right here, and there's the magenta. Okay, if you want to jump right to it, you click this arrow, it'll jump right to it. Why is this important? One, because you can print your notes, you can highlight it and then right click and copy it, and then you can actually put it in an email, or you could actually bring it to our Wednesday night sessions. When we're doing our class in Zoom on Wednesday nights, which is a lot of students will tell you, very powerful because you actually have me right here answering your questions. I don't know of any other program like that you actually get access to the educator every week. And you know what? There's another benefit to that. When you're done with your program at the end of a year, you still get to come back anytime you want because you're a student with us for life. So you basically get me as a consultant and an educator for life. So you don't have those folks on TikTok who are posting comments to people's videos that don't know what they're talking about. If you don't agree, bring it over here, come to Wednesday night and ask, and I'll explain it to you. That's a benefit. Okay, so that is something that's very unique to our program that nobody else offers like that. We just don't sell you something and leave you hanging. That's not what our program is about. If you ask any of our students that are in their program, I can guarantee you, any of our students, that they have asked tons of questions and I give tons of answers. And that's a benefit of the program. Okay. Our classes, somebody asked on TikTok, we teach the National Electrical Code. It's used on every exam across the country that tests on the National Electrical Code. What we do not do is we don't teach OSHA. I don't teach local rules and laws in business. But on our website, for the 7 or 8 states that have a business law portion on their exam, we do have a partnership that offers those courses as a supplement if you want them. Okay? So, but we don't teach that. My job is to teach you the code. And since I am not localized to any one state, I have to teach people all over the country. So when people post stuff and say, well, that's not my rule in my state, well, that's great. But I teach nationally. I don't teach just the state. It's your responsibility to learn anything specific to your state that we don't teach. Okay? Now, our course might not be right for you if you're working only in a state and you've got these other rules and you're so worried about the code's not a problem, but you're worried about other things, then maybe our program isn't for you. You might have somebody's local that teaches it, that will teach you those other rules. But what I've found, and we have students all over the country, in every state that uses our program, usually the other stuff like OSHA or business law is pretty straightforward. As long as you have the document, they're just going to ask you when the license expires, what's the penalty, those type of basic things. Okay. And a PSI puts out a bulletin that actually will tell you what you need to study for your state. The biggest hurdle that people have is the National Electrical Code. The business law, you need to learn that, and there's a document for that. And again, we do have courses for the business law portions, and we'll go look at that in a few minutes to see if your state falls under one of those states, because we do have some resources for that as well. So our main focus is to teach the National Electrical Code. And if you're over on TikTok and you want to see what I'm looking at, jump on over to youtube.com/master the NEC. That's where you can see my screen and you can see what we're doing. All right. So anyway, back to what we're doing. So here you see a nice little highlight and you can use it. If I click on it, you can see it. If I do this, now watch what happens. Let me go on and move a couple pages away and watch what happens if I'm studying now and I want to go back during one of our classes and say, ask me a question. Or I want to cut and paste something that I was doing during the program. Then I can go back into my notes. I can click this arrow and watch what happens on the left. It takes me right back to where that was. Now, when you're done with you've answered the question and you want to remove this highlight, you just click on it and click remove highlight and you notice it disappeared over here. Okay. So that is a very powerful feature that's in our program. Not only to be able to highlight things and bookmark things. Oh, I didn't mention that as well. See this little bookmark right here? Wherever you're getting at in your work and you want to end for the night, all you got to do is do this. Just click bookmark and then you log out. When you come back, all you got to do is go over to your study hub, go to your bookmarks, and there's the bookmark. And that's the bookmark that we just set up. And you can unbookmark it and continue on with your studies. Okay. So that is kind of one of the other powerful features in our program. Okay. Now, the other question that people ask is, what can I print? You can print anything. You got a little print icon right here. If you want to print out the entire book, then it's up to you. You're more than happy to print it out. Just click this little print icon right here. It'll pop up on the screen and it'll literally allow you to print it out. Okay. So again, that is totally up to you what you want to print, what you want to do. We don't have any, you can print it all if you like. Okay. All right. So that's kind of that part of it. Now, the other real important feature that we have built into this is competency reviews. Competency reviews are where you're going to do an assessment of what you've done, and we're going to personally grade it. Okay. I don't understand. We have some questions over TikTok. People have to remember There's a fallacy. The code is written by people like you. It's not written by code panel members. All they do is receive it and look at it and see whether or not you put merit into your submission. And then that's how it gets voted on. And then it gets made public and you get to give comments on it. So it's really not people sitting on some board making up rules. I often tell people that until I'm blue in the face and they don't get it. Then they say that the panel is overrun by manufacturers. That's not true either. Go to the front of the code book and look at the code panel members. They're made up of a healthy balance. Now, do manufacturers have some influence? Absolutely. Sure they do. They're experts. But again, it's a consensus and it has to be voted on. So again, there's really a fallacy in how the code works. And let me tell you what, it's much better than the ICC. Okay? Much better than the ICC. So ICC process, you can game the system. You can't game the system really in an NFPA setting. You can try. And if you convince everybody sitting at the table, then you might get it. But at the end of the day, people say, well, what's your feeling, Paul, about this GFCI expansion? I think that the system was gamed. I think that people believed what people spew about the lives that are saved by GFCIs. And they do save lives. But do we need them on the refrigerator? You could still do that now. They don't have any problem. But with the changes that are coming in 2023, and that's not what I wanted this show to go to, but I am TikToking it as well. The problem is that when people think that we're going to put cooktops, we're going to put ovens and ranges and all these things on GFCIs in the 2023 code, we are. And that's what the code's going to be doing. And I disagree with that. Okay? I'm not sure that that's necessary, especially in light of the issues that we have with 210.8 F, I think it is. I guess it's F, dealing with outdoor outlets, not receptacle, that we're talking about like the point where you take power from the system. So it can be for like HVACs and all that stuff. All of that has to be GFCI. I think we're going to see more problems. Okay. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. All right. Anyway, back to the program here. And if you're not following it on TikTok, go over to youtube.com/master the NEC or watch on our Facebook pages or Twitter or whatever. All right. So here's your reading material. Now let's look at some competency reviews. So this is what you have to do. So here's an example where I left off last time. So that's a real important feature for students. I don't want to see any students submit a blank answer. Okay, because that's just not what you need to spend the time you need in the program. So as you can see on the screen, I saved it from the last time we were working on this. You can always, if you don't finish, then you can click save down here and you can actually save your work. And you can come back and finish it at a different setting. The real thing I want you to do is only click this submit button. Only click the submit button when you've answered every question, right? That's when you click that submit button. And it will be graded by me personally. All you do is you go down here to your progress, you click your progress button, and in here, you'll be able to see your progress down here. And you can click on it and you can see what's been graded, okay? Now, I haven't graded any of these because this is my test one that I use. But that's exactly how you would go down there and you get to see what your assessment is. You get to see your score, all those type of things. And that's by going to this little green progress circle down here. Okay. All right. So fill these out. Now, when we say NEC reference, other than Unit 1, we typically want you to put the code reference in the code, whether it's article and section. Okay, like if it was a question about grounding electrodes, it would be 250.52, and that's what you're going to put as a NEC reference, okay? In the first one, there are some mixture of references in the code book as well as the course material. We're a little bit lax on Unit 1, but I don't want these blank. But then when you start getting to Unit 2, 3, 4, you're going to have specific code references that you're going to want to submit. Okay, and then once you put the information here, you click the submit button. Now, why is this different than any other program out there, right? Well, the difference really is that if you're doing it in a book, you have nobody there that's going to grade it and going to give you the code reference and give you the answer. I personally grade every single one of these submitted competency reviews personally. I grade on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And so those are my grading days for the Fast Trax Black program. And so that's when I do that. And I grade the other programs we offer, the reds, the greens, the blue. Those are post-licensing. I do those on the other days, Tuesdays and Thursdays and things like that. Okay. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I am grading these personally. Okay. And again, if you want to find out more about our programs, then you can go to fasttraxsystems.com, fasttraxsystem.com, or come on over to the live stream over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/master the NEC. And that's where you can get the information. All right, so put your information here. It would be whatever the code reference would be, okay? For example, here, this is which chapters the NEC apply generally to all installations? Okay, well, that's easy. That is chapters 1 through 4. So you would do chapters 1 through 4. Now, here's something interesting. I want to show you something. So let's say you're ever working in the program and you have a chevron, and I'm going to show you that. But let's say you want to open up your course book, your course material. Many people don't know that you can actually open up your course material while you're doing the competency review. Just go over here to the book, click on the book, that little book icon, go up here, and we're in Unit 1, click on Unit 1, right? And down here, this question is about the layout of the NEC. So here, I clicked it, here's the layouts, chapters 1 through 4, contain the most often used articles in the code because they include general basic provisions, okay? So as you can see here, chapters 1 through 4 apply generally to all electrical installations. And there you go, all right? So that's where we get that. Now, you can put your choices of answers. You could actually go right here and put this one, you could actually put 1-1F as the reference, but since you do have an NEC reference, you can just simply go to Article 90, right? Take your code book out. I'm not going to pull y'all away because I don't have that geared up. And if you go into the code, you'll see that 90.3 in the code says, right blank, it says 90.3, it says the code is divided into introduction and 9 chapters. And then it tells you, as shown, figures 90.3, chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 apply generally, okay? So you could put your answer, could be 90.3. Oops, there. So these are the things that we're trying to get you to do, right? We're trying to get you to use your code book. We're trying to get you to be able to regurgitate the information, because by the time you're finished our program is much harder than what you're going to see on an exam. So, in anything that we don't cover in the program, we cover in a supplemental. In other words, this Wednesday night, the students that choose to come, the ones that are in the Fast Trax program, you can actually, we're doing a session where I'm going to teach about motors. So that is something that you're not going to get from other people. Is that I'm going to do a class just for our Fast Trax students that choose to come, because these are voluntary. You don't have to come to the Wednesday night. I'm actually going to teach motors. We're going to do sizing of the motors, the conductors to a single motor, 430.22. We're going to be talking multiple motors, 430.24. We're going to be doing short circuit ground fault protection, 430.52. We're going to be doing overload protection, 430.32. We're going to be explaining the tables in the back of 430, 430.22. 48, 49, and 50. We're going to be talking about full load current. We're going to be talking about nameplates. We're going to be digging into all of that stuff. We're going to be talking about sizing for feeders that are supplying multiple motors. We're going to be getting into all of that on Wednesday night. How do you get involved in that? Well, you have to be a Fast Trax student. Now, you don't have to come if you don't want. It's not part of the Fast Trax program. It's what I like to do. And it's only available to our annual subscribers, monthly subscribers, and of course our Fast Trax students. They're the only ones that get access to it. And it's on Zoom. It is not on YouTube. I don't share free training. There's tons of free training on the internet. I appreciate everybody's training. My stuff is not free. And I had somebody one time say, Paul, you don't care about teaching people. If you did, you'd do it for free. Well, when's the last time you did electrical work for free? Why should I do it for free? I've amassed a certain amount of knowledge after 30 some years. I'm only going to have you for a small amount of time to try to give you that knowledge. Why should I not make a living? You know what I'm saying? I've had people say that, well, I'll just get it for free. Well, you do that. And I did that for years, gave it to people. I don't do that anymore. So there's other educators out there. There's tons of people out there. My program, pound for pound, is the best value out there because you not only get the course, you can print any page you want. You can print any illustration you want. You get to come to Wednesday night sessions. You get access to the Sparky Hub. You get the special forum where you can ask questions. Okay? And you get to email me. You get to interact with me. I don't know anybody else that does that. Tell you what, go buy a book online. Go buy a book of an educator's and see if they'll let you constantly ask them questions. I'm not saying that to be, I'm just telling you, try that. I am about as approachable as you can get. I think I have a good sense of humor. If you've seen half of my stuff on TikTok, I do it with tongue in cheek when I, give people crap. But at the end of the day, we don't offer a monthly program for our fast tracks. No, the monthly is the access to the website is on our website to get video access. That's our monthly scrim. We have no monthly thing when it comes to our fast tracks program. It's a one-time fee that you have to pay it. Okay. So at the end of the day, I get a lot of crap from people now and then that say if you really cared about the industry, you would do all your stuff, your videos, and do it for free like I did for 20 years. Most people don't seem to forget that I was doing this stuff all the way back in 2004. And back when it was AOL dial-up and I was sharing stuff. Once I got a corporation and I had bills to pay, I've got to sell my knowledge. I'm sorry. Now, there's people out there way smarter than me, and they're willing to teach you, okay? But for me, it is what it is, okay? Love me, hate me, it really doesn't matter. So anyway, for those that are over on the YouTube stream and those that are not, go over to youtube.com/master the NEC and watch our stream. You can see what's on the screen. And so it's like I would never do a service call for free. I got to make money. But I think everything that you get for our program, I don't know anywhere that you can beat it. If you buy a book from somebody or you buy a bunch of DVDs, you're going to pause it, go back. Now, when you got questions, who are you going to ask? With me, you got somebody you can ask. Okay? We do not teach laws. I do not teach the business portion. We have courses that we partner with people to teach those. That's your responsibility to do that. And there are documents that you can get that explain your local laws. I don't teach that because I am a little different educator. I'm not local. I teach nationally. And so I focus on the National Electrical Code. I don't focus on the business laws or whatever in your state. We do have resources for that on our website, and you can buy those courses that are usually fairly inexpensive, $100 or whatnot. But there's only 8 states that have a business law component, and that's usually for the contractor's portion. Or you're in a state that doesn't have a master, and so you have to get a contractor's license, then they might have the law portion. But we do have a partner that offers that, and I'll show that later in the thing today. All right, so let me kind of get through this real quick for those that are over watching on our YouTube channel. Again, YouTube, go over to youtube.com/master the NEC if you want to watch what we're looking at. All right, so once you do this, then you can submit it. Or if I want to save this till next time and click save, my job has been saved and I want to show you what that looks like. If I come back at a later time, there you go, it saves it. You don't have to submit it until you are ready. That's important because I want you to take your time. This is not a race, okay? This is a marathon. My goal is so that you retain the code. Let me give you an example, and people over on TikTok will appreciate this, okay? I posted Jay Grunberg, good friend of mine. I know why everybody thinks that I'm going after Jay. He's a great friend of mine and a wonderful family man, great guy. Yeah, y'all have to remember that the TikTok Paul is not the normal Paul. That platform is kind of weird to me, and I just like to aggravate people. But when I see him post something about 1 1/4 to a bored hole, and then I literally have 500 comments of people saying, duh. The code changed in 2023 to make it clear it wasn't the nearest edge to the bored hole. It applies to both edges. Now, why did the code have to clarify that if that was such a duh? Because people didn't understand that that rule applies to both sides. Now, remember, if you have a 3.5 inch wide stud, which is 2x4, which is typically 1.5 by 3.5, and this happened many years ago when they standardized the size of lumber and they all agreed on it would still be called a 2x4, but it's not really a 2x4. You can drill up to a 1 inch diameter hole in a 3.5 wide 2x4 and still be able to meet the 1 1/4 on each side. The reason I posted that wasn't to slight Jay. The reason I posted that was because people bore holes that are bigger, much larger, and they need to know that rule applies to both sides. Now, some people ask, well, what if it's concrete on the other side and you can't even get to it? Okay, then chances are you don't need a nail plate. But that's not what the code says. That's got to be something your local AHJ is okay with. Okay? Now, I'm not here to tell you that the NEC is perfect. It's not. But it can't cover everything, so common sense has to come into play. So when I teach somebody something on TikTok or somewhere else, I've got 1 million TikTokricians who jump in and want to post negative comments. First of all, hey, folks on TikTok, you can post negative, they'll never be seen because I don't share them. I just delete it or I block you. I don't need to learn anything from anybody at this stage in the game. I know that sounds conceited. When it comes to the NEC, I do my own research and make my own decision. I most certainly will never listen to him. But for me, when I'm sharing that info, that's my dog's going crazy. When I share info, it usually is because I've researched it, or you have to remember, I do serve on multiple code panels, and I've either heard it from other very intelligent individuals, and I'm just regurgitating it. That's all, right? I do like to learn something new every day, but when you post stuff on social media and you don't back it up with code, that's one thing. If you want to teach me something, back it up with code. Okay? For example, another TikTok video I did, I explained something about MC cable in the steel versus the aluminum, and you couldn't use a set screw. The reason I say it that way is, one, because I work with the manufacturer that makes MC cable. And we do not want people to use our set screw type of fittings on our aluminum MC. Not to mention most of the manufacturers, if not all of the manufacturers, Bridgeport, Arlington, all of those, will state in their literature not to use a set screw type on aluminum. So when I'm doing something on behalf of say, Encore, I have to do that message based on what they want me to say and protect them. And that's why that statement is made. Okay? If you want to use a set screw type of fitting on aluminum MC, nothing in the code says you can't. Nothing in the standard 1569 says you can't, right? However, you have to understand that there's a listing, 110.3b, in the vast majority, if not all of the manufacturers, and I think I showed that in one of the supplemental videos, all of the manufacturers that make the set screws say in their literature, don't use it on aluminum armor. So I want to make sure that if I'm giving that message, that the message I give is consistent, one, with the manufacturers, and two, with the person that makes the aluminum armor. That's why I do it, okay? So there's two different people. If I'm TikToking on behalf of Encore, or if I'm TikToking on behalf of Electrical Code Academy, then my messages are different. And I really am not out to get, that one video I did with Jay is over 600 and some thousand views. I didn't expect that. Really didn't. And it doesn't do me any good because I make no money at all on TikTok. So, anyway, what it is. So, at any rate, back to where I was at because I get distracted. If you're over on TikTok, go to youtube.com/mastery.nec. All right, so you can save your info. Okay. Here's another tip for you folks. If you want to study offline, You can also print all of these competency reviews out. Just print them out and you can work them offline. But when you come back to submit them, I'd rather you put them in here rather than attaching them. You can print this whole thing, right? Right here's a little print button. But when you fill it out offline and you come back, I want to make sure that you actually fill it in and then you submit it. It makes it easier for me to grade the work. Again, the number of students we have in this program, my success rate and people passing their exam that follow this course are well over 99% at this point, if you follow my program. And I do it for a reason. Okay, so let me show you the next thing that makes it powerful. All right, so in this program, you're going to go through each one of these. You're going to do the assessments to kind of see how you are. You're going to do any drill work that comes up. But let's kind of go on down and let's look at boxes and enclosures. Same thing. You've got the competency review you're going to do at the end of the unit. You're going to have an assessment that you're going to do. You got some videos to watch. You've got some flashcards. Now, this is a great time for me to talk about flashcards. Okay. Why are flashcards important? Well, for years, for probably at this point decades, I've been teaching people to take index cards, 3x5 index cards, and on one side put an article number, and on the other side put the definition of it. Okay, so for example, let's say I'm talking branch circuits, Article 210. On one side put 210, on the other side put branch circuits. Well, for years we did that on flashcards, but now in our Fast Tracks program, you can make endless flashcards, your own. You can make your own. But also there are already pre-made flashcards. And these you just want to roll through the flashcards. And over time, you're going to learn. Okay. Now, flashcards are also accessible down here at the bottom right. And you click on that and you can see it. But also they're in here as well. And so I'm going to go on and click on the flashcards so you can kind of see what we're talking about. All right. So length of free conductor required at each outlet box. Okay, 6 inches. If you click it, it tells you 6 inches. You go to the next one. Okay, box fill calculation. One device in a single gang box equals what? A double volume or 2 conductor count. There it is, 2 of the largest conductors that are connected to the device. Now, what I recommend for people, okay, is that you actually go, if you want to make your own flashcards, and I'm going to show you how I do these, go to Unit 1. And here you see this thing down here that says create a card. And for those over in TikTok, I want you to go to youtube.com/master the NEC, all one word, and you can see what I'm doing on the screen, okay? In the Fast Tracks, if you're studying for an electrical exam, black, or the Fast Tracks Plus, they're both the same. The Plus just gives you access to exclusive videos, but you don't need it to pass the exam, but you do need the Fast Tracks Black program. All right, so over here, I'm in Unit 1. Now, let's say I was going to say, Paul advised me to create a flashcard for every article in the code. That way I can get used to just rattling them off. 210 branch circuits, 215 feeders, 225 outside branch and feeders, 430 motors, okay? Just 422 appliances, 300s general wiring. If you want to get used to just rattle, okay? 400 cords, flexible cables. If you want to get to where you can just boom, okay? And throw these things out there, all right? 312 cabinets, okay? If you want to be able to throw 314 boxes and just be able to just spit it out, especially if you're in an exam, then what you need to do is you need to make flashcards. That way you can start learning it, okay? So there you go. We got some people that came over from TikTok. There you go. You're better off over here than on TikTok. I'm just saying. Okay. No harm to TikTok. But anyway, so let me show you how we create one. So go down here. Here's where it says create a card. And I like to create all of them in Unit 1 for anybody out there that's watching. All of them in Unit 1. So I'll go down here to create a card. And let's say I want to do one on motors. So I'll do article 430, right? And then down here, I'll do motors. All right, so now let's go until I find that card. there we go. Article 430 on the screen. Then you click it, motors. Now, if you got another one from TikTok, Edgar, welcome. All you TikTokers, I'm going to start converting all of you to come over and join us on YouTube. Over at youtube.com/master the NEC. All right, so you can create a flashcard. So here's what I recommend, okay? Here's my tip for the day. I recommend that you create a flashcard for every article in the code. Just get your code book out, open it up, create a flashcard for every article in the code book, all right? That's what I recommend. Ampacity tables, 31016, boom. Okay, Article 100, definitions, boom. Okay, information technology. See the articles? 210, branch circuits. 215, feeders. Just keep on going it. 250.122. I encourage you to make them for every article. I encourage you to make them for all important sections. I encourage you to make them for all important tables. Why are we doing this? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm extremely selfish. When I teach a program or I create a program, I do not want you walking away just knowing enough to pass an exam. That's not how I function. For those that know me on TikTok and say, well, Paul, you come across arrogant sometimes. That's on TikTok. I don't do that on any of my other platforms. Okay? My goal is to help you learn. And at the end of the day, I want you walking away from this book and this course truly understanding the NEC. And if anything, I want you to understand how to maneuver the NEC. I want you to learn how to identify the key words in a sentence. I want you to be able to read the code language and understand it. That's important to me, that you read it, comprehend it, and that you understand it. Okay? So that's an important part of it. So create all of those flashcards. Okay? You can create any number in here, and I recommend you put them all in Unit 1. It just keeps it nice and tidy. Okay. Now, where can you get there? Well, you get there from the actual unit, or you can go right down here on the right and you see the flashcard button, and that's what takes you to the flashcards. Okay. All right. So let's go on and get back. So here's all your units. Give you a little bit of sample of the reading material because now I want to show you some of the features in the material. Let's go back to the very beginning here. All right. So now you've seen that I've done some highlighting, and these are highlighted in our Sparky Hub. So let's go verify that real quick. Here's Study Hub. And we see some highlights. Here's Unit 3. There's that one right there. There they are. Check them out. Okay. You can delete them. Get rid of them. Okay. So they're out of there. Then you come over here and you can remove the highlights here. And it would have removed them over there, but I did it backwards. All right. We have a question. When does a 2023 come out? That will not be until the end of this year. And most of your states are going to take at least 4 to 6 months to adopt. And some of you will still be years before you adopt it. It's not a guarantee in any state. It's got to go through the process of adopting it and things like that. So the 2023 is almost done, but it's not going to be published until probably close to January of 2023. And then just because it's published doesn't mean it's adopted. That's up to your local state, and they have a process they have to go through. So you won't be testing on it for quite a while. So if you're in a state that's testing on 2020, it's probably going to still be testing on 2020 for quite a while. Texas, for example, usually adopts it fairly quickly, but it'll still be within 3 months. Probably won't be till March or April before Texas would even adopt it. But they are pretty quick. But most states, they lag far behind. But we're in the last stages of 2023 now. All of the meetings, all the panels that I serve on, we're done. And so, again, the next thing that happens, so there. Somebody says, I have a resident exam with PSI. Yeah, I see I have a red and a black. What's the difference? Okay, good question. So the Fast Trax Black is what you need to prepare for an exam. It gives you the 30,000-foot view. The Fast Trax Red is not really designed for exam prep. That is for people that already have their license and they want to get more digging into the weeds when it comes to residential. We get into the deep weeds. You have to remember that and you could use it, but the best program to prepare for an electrical exam is the Black program. Now, if you're preparing for a residential license, is the program going to go deeper? Probably. Yeah, but believe you me, I like to prepare you for everything. So I think the best well-rounded electrician is an electrician that is not trying to study within the confines of what they think they're taking an exam for. Let me give you an example. One of the top questions I get is your fast tracks for a master or for a journeyman? My answer to that is we don't have labels on it. Kind of like Bruce Lee used to say about belts. They say, what kind of belt are you? He'd go, I got a brown leather belt, holds my pants up. We teach the code. Now, in our program, you go chapters 1 or unit 1 all the way up to about unit 11. That's going to be predominantly focused on residential. Everything after unit 11 is going to be very dedicated to commercial. So you can naturally work very hard on up to a unit 11. And then, but here's what I tell people. Just study it, because code is code. And the more you study, the better you're going to be. And our program is designed to help you embrace the code and learn how to maneuver it, that type of thing. Okay? So it doesn't matter whether or not you're residential or studying for a commercial or you're doing a master's versus journeyman. Code is code. Do not let anybody, folks, do not let anybody tell you differently. They're just trying to get more money from you. They want you to buy this course. Then when you pass that exam, you want you to buy another course. Code is code. It's all in our fast tracks. Everything you need to know, except for the local laws and things like I can't control that. But we will help you get courses for that. And all you got to do is email me. And all of my fast track students know that they can reach out to me and I have things that I can recommend for anything. My focus is to teach you the code, right? Plus, you can bring anything that you want to our Wednesday night sessions if you choose to join us, okay? I'm just saying. So, again, we cover load calculations. I teach you how to do single-family dwelling, multi-family dwellings, non-dwelling applications. I teach you the optional and the standard method. I teach you how to do ranges. I teach you how to do dryers. I teach you how to do single-phase dryers on a 3-phase system. I teach you how to do motor loads and motor load calculations in our Wednesday night sessions, and they're recorded so that you can watch them at a later date as well if you can't make it on Wednesday nights. I don't know who else does all this. That's why I'm always so excited about what I do. I have been around for years. I've only been on TikTok for a little amount of time. So if anybody that just knows me by TikTok, do me a favor. Google me, Paul Abernathy, NEC, or Paul Abernathy Electrical Code. I created this program and put all of the support. Now, if you just buy this course, are you going to pass the exam? Absolutely not. This is not a you buy it and you automatically pass. It's not how it works. Any good thing takes time to be proficient. I have figured out through our algorithm that it takes anywhere from 96 to 100 hours of dedicated study to be proficient in the NEC, to be able to pass an exam. But not only pass, but walk away from the table with enough knowledge to be proficient out in the field. In other words, if you have to go out in the field and grab this book and you're that go-to guy on the job, you're foreman or you're the leader or the owner, knowing this book and knowing how to find stuff, it's invaluable. Now, we had somebody ask a good question. When would you take the red program? When would you take the green program? Let me emphasize again for those that follow. The black program or the Fast Tracks Plus, those are for people that want to pass an electrical exam or learn the code at a 30,000 foot view. If you're already licensed and you want to dig deeper into residential, because maybe you're a commercial guy learning residential, or maybe you're working for a company and you own the company and you've got 10 electricians and you want them all to be on the same page, because you know what? We only get paid to do things once. We don't get paid to do things twice. You want to standardize your company? That's when you get in the red program. That's when you get them in the green program or the blue program. That way they all can learn at the same pace and they all follow the same procedures. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have your own creativity on the job. We don't teach hands-on here, but we give you the tools to understand why you're doing what you're doing. That's what those programs are for. So, exam, black, or the plus. Everything else to hone those skills and become even a better electrician, that's when you would do the red or the blue or the green, that type of thing. Okay? Hope that makes that clear. All right? I have a mission. It's to teach as many people I can this. Now, I can tell you right now, there are literally thousands of people that post on TikTok, and no offense to TikTok people, and please don't y'all get offended. And those that are on here, please don't get offended. I have seen more misstatements and false statements made on that platform than any other platform. And it's scary. Those that don't, I appreciate you. Those that do, it really do step up the game. Just don't say something that's wrong and you don't really back it up with a code reference. I will back up everything with a code reference. Get used to it because you really should be doing that. Really. Otherwise, I just don't want to, I don't care what somebody's opinion is. Okay? You don't care. You don't care what my opinion is. I'm sure the people don't care my opinion, right? But if I back it up with code, it's my interpretation. You can agree to disagree, and that's fine. It's kind of like the argument we got on YouTube and everywhere else about securing a PVC. If I've got two cabinets and I got a fitting and the PVC is glued to the fitting and it's connected to the box, secured to the box with a lock nut, and then people say it needs a strap, all it says in 352.30 is it has to be secured. It doesn't say it has to be a strap, and it has to be within 3 feet. If that raceway is only 8 inches long and it's glued into a fitting that's secured into the cabinet, why would it need a strap? You know what I'm saying? I get what people want to do. And I try to explain code in a way that makes it understandable. But again, it just shows ignorance. And I'm okay because I can teach that. I can teach people and help them. But there's a reason I do what I do, and I'm not like any other instructor out there. I say what I say. I don't worry about hurting people's feelings. I give my stuff, and I just give it to you. You can take it if you want, but that's how I teach. And again, I'm not like normal educators, and I do offend people, and they get upset. I've embraced it. It's okay. I don't have a problem with that. All right. So let me show you what we've got here. If you're over on our YouTube channel, go to youtube.com/master the NEC, folks. And you'll see here great illustrations. Remember, you can print any of this, okay? We go through step by step. Now, here's the first thing I'll talk about for those that are not familiar with it. See right here, see these chevrons? Now, I'm going to highlight that. You see the little thing that comes up? Now, when I highlight that, that gets stuck over here in my Sparky Hub. I'm going to show you. Here's a highlight. Notice that I'm in boxes. There's what I just highlighted. See, it is up here. See, it's over here. Okay, just wanted to show you that. So the system keeps track of it for you. Now, when you see chevrons, why do we do this? When you see a chevron, that means you break open your code book. You go to that, you go to that specific section and you read it. And then you read what's on the screen. And then you look at the illustrations. That all works together. That's called ballistic training. And I don't just sell you a book. I don't just sell you DVDs. I don't just do some TikTok videos. I don't just do some YouTube videos and you expect to learn it. And then you got to kind of piece things together. This is a turnkey system. It's got not only our information, but good graphics, pulls you in and out of the code, has a glossary of terms. Okay, I don't know if we've shown you that yet. It really works you through it. It's got flashcards, okay? And here's another thing. I also upload documents for you. I guess y'all folks, you may not have known this, but check this out. See this Google Drive? Watch what happens when I click it. Look at here. Look at all these documents that I've uploaded. These are all blueprints that I've uploaded for you. Sample calculations I've uploaded. They're all in the Google Drive. Who else does that? This is turnkey. So I ask you, how much is your time worth? If you try to study and you fail an exam and you have to pay the money to take the exam and you have to do it again. And then the time that you study, how do you know what to study? How do you know where to study in this book? How do you know what's going to be on an exam? Do you just go flipping through it? We will take you through it. You need to study efficiently. It's the best $425 for the Fast Trax Black, $525 for the Fast Trax Plus if you want access to the videos. It's the best investment you'll make. One, because you become a member for life. You get to come to Wednesday nights even after your course is expired. You get to Sparky Hub. You get to go to the Fast Trax Black forum to ask questions if you're on the job and you need help. We even have an app that you can ask questions on the app. Y'all know that, right? We have an app. You have interactions with me or my staff constantly. Who does that? Do you know how much consultants cost? Okay, anyway, I get excited. I'm still as passionate about my program as I was when I launched it 4 years ago, okay? Okay, anyway, so here's your illustrations. You can print out what you want. Remember, these chevrons, they're so important, right? They're so important. Other thing here, if you're working in the course and you don't understand something, you're like, I don't understand what he's saying. I don't get what he's saying. And here's what you do. Check this out. You left click and you drag it. You can add a note. Here's where you type a note. Ask Paul about this information on Wednesday night. Look at this note. I made a note and watch me save it in the system. See what it does? It creates this orange. Now check this out. So you've got all these notes, right? And you're still in Unit 3. And you'll come down here and check it out. It creates a little note here. For those that don't see this, go over to youtube.com/masterthenec. It creates a little note here. Now, then what you can do is you can left click, take your note, right click, copy it, and then you can go in an email and post it, or you can post it in the chat area in the Zoom on Wednesday nights, and I will answer your question. Again, I do not leave you hanging. So for people over on the TikTok or people that are smart Alex that post stuff who don't really know who I am or never took a chance to Google who I am, one of the things is I work very closely with my students. Another question, do these count for CEUs? Absolutely not. These are exam prep courses. These are to prepare you for taking an exam. You only need CEUs after you get your license. And we offer those as well online. We have a partnership that offers CEU classes as well through our portal over on our website. Okay, it says CEU credits over on electricalcodeacademy.com. You see top left, it says CEU credits. But you're not going to get that here because typically the majority of the CEU stuff is for code changes. And these aren't about code changes. These are code specific. This is just a bunch of code and a bunch of installation practices. Okay, so they don't count for CEUs. Okay, so hopefully that answered that question for you. So here you go. So there's a note. You can delete the notes right there. You can delete it right here as well. Okay, you can delete the note and it'll go away when you refresh. All right, so what else do we have? Oh, this is a bookmark. I'll take that bookmark off. Here we talk about the volume of a box. We explain that what the tables is, 314.16a. You see the illustrations as well. Okay, we talk about plastic boxes. You see some chevrons again. And again, you can even make a flashcard out of this. Okay. So anyway, so there you go. So I want to make sure I show those. So the next thing I want to show you is you go through every one of these units. We have a bunch of videos that you can watch. These aren't all our videos. We also have some important ones from our Wednesday night session that we'll include in here. Okay, so those are in here as well. So they're embedded videos. We also have practice exams. Now here's the video that I do that explains how to identify the root of a question. Okay, kind of show you what that looks like. So I'll click it, and it brings up the video that you can click, and it'll talk about the root. Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Abernathy, and welcome to another episode of S.com. And what it's doing is so there's the video, and I walk you through understanding the roots of a code question. So it makes it a little easier to understand the question. That's included in the program. You got to go over to youtube.com/master the NEC. Okay, they don't allow me to stream on that way on TikTok. So I'm doing it over on our YouTube channel. But of course, our Facebook channel, we have an electrical exam prep forum. We also do it over on LinkedIn. Just look for Paul Abernathy. But mainly people watch over at YouTube, youtube.com/master the NEC. Okay. All right. So let's look at some exam questions. So you get a database. Okay, check this out. What is something else you get in our program? You get over 800 practice exams questions. And you get to dissect these questions one at a time. And I encourage you to spend a lot of time on the questions dissecting them because you'll only get better. Okay? So, for example, let's just look at these residential questions. So this is in the program as well. So you see here, starting question 1, it's got 25 questions in here. Okay, do you see? All right, now what is this question? Let me show you kind of how it works. It says, a single phase 15 or 20 amp branch circuit supplying outlets or devices installed in residential kitchens or similar rooms shall be protected by a listed arc fault circuit interrupter of the blank type. Okay, so is it parallel? Is it combination? Is it series? Or is it individual? Okay, well, the answer is combination. And here it'll give you the code reference and it will tell you what cycle. And so the other beautiful thing about our program is that if you're doing the 2020 edition, in these practice exams, it will give you the answer in both 2017 and 2020. Okay? That type of thing. Edgar, to find out more about this course, just go to fasttracksystem.com. Fasttracksystem.com. Okay? So that's now. One of the other things, again, also we teach and I explain in the program the difference between parallel and series. A parallel arc is, for example, where you would have a black and a white next to each other, gets caught and a nail crushes it, then you arc between them. It's not limited by the load. It's an arc that's directly in relation to two conductors that are in parallel, and that is called a parallel arc. A series arc would be a loose termination at a screw where you didn't torque it properly. Another example of that is where you might have a wire that's been damaged and it's frayed and it's barely touching, like a black wire that's got damage where it's crushed, then it arcs over that. Now, the key difference between a parallel and series when it comes to the load is that if you're in a series arc, it's very load dependent. In other words, if there's no load being drawn, then that arc is not going to generate. You plug something in, then the arc will start. Whereas in a parallel, it's not load dependent. In a parallel arc, it's always arcing because it creates an artificial load, if you will. Okay, the resistance between this actual arcing point. So AFCIs can detect the difference between a series and a parallel arc if they are the combination type. With me? And so there's also these products out there called dual function. That is not a combination. A dual function is both GFCI and AFCI. Two different technologies that work very good together, okay? Not to be confused, okay? So again, a lot of people will call one of those arc fault and GFCIs, they will call it a combination, and that is not correct. It's dual function. It's doing multiple functions. Combination is looking for two different types of arcing characteristics, okay? Didn't think I was going to do that lesson today, but I did. Some people on TikTok asked me to do a lesson before on series and parallel arcs. So there you go. But anyway, and you just simply work through the program, right? In dwelling units, hallways of blank feet or more in length are required to have at least one 15 or 20 amp rated 125 volt receptacle outlet. What do you think the answer is? For those over on TikTok, if you're not seeing the screen, go to youtube.com/master the NEC. YouTube, all you people over here on Facebook and everybody on YouTube, what do y'all think the answer is? So if I have a hallway and it's not broken by doorways, then what's the distance that I have to go before I have to have what? A receptacle. What do you think? 20 feet? 15 feet? 12 feet? Or 10 feet? Somebody mention it somebody give me the answer in the chat and see what we get before I move on. What do you think it is? 20, 15, 12, or 10? Oh, while I'm waiting for an answer, if you're over, you're close, Daryl. You're close. You need the fast tracks. Somebody else give it a shot. So, I see some 12s in there. The answer, I do have it over on TikTok. We do have the answer. The answer is 10 feet. And it's 210.52H. Okay? Now, here's the beautiful thing about this. Starting next week, okay, and I mentioned this to the TikTok folks because I want you to go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because on YouTube, and it won't be streamed, there'll be videos, I will be doing a weekly 10-question video. That's right. I'm doing it, and it is going to be free. I know that's different for me. But I am going to be doing where we'll look at practice questions, and I will share those on YouTube. Okay? But here's the catch. I will only be sharing them on YouTube for 1 week, and then they go private. How about that? I'm only going to share it on YouTube as also. I'm not going to be sharing it on Facebook. I'm not going to be able to share it on any other platform. Only on our YouTube channel, and it's only going to be up there for 1 week, and then I pull them down. So you might want to go over there and subscribe so that you get the notification when it goes, and then you can go watch it. And it's going to be great whether you're preparing for an exam or you just want to hone those skills. So that is something we're starting next week. Okay? So look forward to doing that. But again, we're trying to give away what we can give. But again, at the end of the day, I really think that if you're out there and you want to learn the NEC, I don't know of any other program that does it. And I don't know any other program that allows you access to somebody like me. Okay? Now you can say, well, Paul, you think you're all that. That's not what I mean. Dude, people put words in my mouth all the freaking time in this industry. What I mean is somebody like me who's willing to dedicate the time to make you successful. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Don't put words in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? It happens to me all the freaking time. But anyway, it is what it is. So again, I never set out in this business to make friends with people, but I did set out in this business to teach people. And if you don't like my teaching, there are many other educators out there. They're all great. Okay, they're all wonderful. But for those that are loyal to me, I appreciate you very much. Okay. All right. So again, this is, you see what you get. Now here's another thing you can do. Okay. So we got a bunch of these, right? Look at all of them. For those that are watching over on the YouTube stream, look at all of them. You even got master ones now. Somebody says, well, what if I'm not taking a master's exam? Should I take the master's practice exam? Absolutely, you should. The more that I have you move through the code, the better you're going to be. Also, here's a little tip for you, because I was served on many test writing committees throughout different states through my years. I've sat in a room with people and the questions come on the screen and we're writing these questions for an exam. The question could be for journeyman's test, but even the masters in the room don't answer it. And so that means that it could be on a journeyman or a master. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to put a question in a little box. My goal is for you to be able to answer any freaking thing, right? My goal is for you to be able to get on TikTok and see somebody post something outrageously wrong, and you to be able to go to this book and find the answer. If you're really good and you did our program, it'll just come to your head, right? But I want you to learn how to do this. Misconceptions about code experts. We don't know everything in this book. We know how to find it. We know how to find it. And we can interpret it and give our opinion. Now, when I give an interpretation, I want you to remember that I don't give an interpretation just basically willy-nilly. I have researched it. So, for example, that securing that PVC, that people say that's not, it needs a strap. I researched and I did a video on it. And I looked at the NFPA. I looked at past public inputs and public comments on it. I read what other educators had to say. I helped formulate an opinion. That's how I do it. So you can agree and disagree with me, and that's the beautiful thing about this. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and it's a beautiful thing. But I'm here to give mine, and I'm here to back it up by code. And you can agree to disagree, but I'm going to help you learn. Now, when it comes to exam prep, it's a little different because exam prep's pretty cut and dry, right? It's teaching you what you need to know to be proficient. Pretty straightforward, right? And so we go through all of those. So my answer to you that are doing a journeyman, you want to be taking these master's ones as well. Because nobody can tell you exactly what's going to be on an exam, right? Now, here's the other thing. Once you finish all of those, okay, once you finish every one of these practice exams, guess what? Now we have what's called final exams. Yes, sirree. You get final exams. And guess what? You get 100 of them. And let me show you how they work. These are beautiful. Now, we don't let you go backwards. You got to go forward. You can't go backwards, okay? So it's not like exam concept and you're going to keep moving forward, right? Hold on, let me see why this doesn't load. Okay, so what you've got here is a bunch of exam questions. Notice that there's 100 of them. At the end, you're going to be able to see your grade, okay? Okay, you're going to be able to see how well you do. But here, let me give you some advice on how to use these. Okay, you ready? Here's another tip. And if you're not using our program and you're still got your hands on and everybody on YouTube wondering why I'm looking over here, it's because over here I've got TikTok, which I can't share this. So if you're on TikTok and you want to see my screen, you got to go to youtube.com/master_the-NEC. You're over here, all of my YouTube family. Here's my advice. It doesn't matter whether you're using ours or you're using somebody else's. Let me give you some advice for preparing. In the last 2 weeks before your exam, you can sit there and try to comb through this and drive yourself bonkers. Okay? But if you've done our program, you've worked your way through this code book. Now you're relaxing. The last 2 weeks, we want you to time yourself. How do you do that? Okay. Well, you open up these final exams, and you can do these over and over and over again, and they shuffle them up, okay? So it's not set in stone. Here's what you do. You set a timer on your phone for 2 minutes. This is a calculator, obviously, right? Your phone, you set the timer. Obviously, I can't use my phone because I'm streaming on my phone. You set it for 2 minutes, okay? Then you get a question like this, and then you hit the timer and let it count down. And then you try to answer this question, right? Just go through and go over it and try to find the answers to the question, okay? Now, what happens if you get the question wrong? This is what people ask me all the time. Okay, Paul, I get it. Is it going to give me the answer if I get it wrong? Well, let's just pick one here. There you go. Where does it give you the answer? Right here, 680.9a. It even tells you the page to go to. So what is the benefit of using this? You want to, when you get it wrong, hopefully you get it right, but when you get it wrong, guess what you get to do? You get to reverse engineer it. That means you now stop your timer, and you look at this question and you try to dissect how I could have got the answer. So in this example, swimming pools. So you know that it's dealing in 680. You could go to the index and look under 680, and you could look for clearances, because that's what this is talking about. So in our program and on our Wednesday night sessions, We dissect questions, okay? I show you how to pick apart a question. Why do I do this? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You can say that you do this on your own, but let me explain why we do it this way. It's selfish. I'm sorry. What I'm doing, whether you know it or not, and this is a sign what the educator in me is trying to do. I'm trying to take you in and out of the index so that you get so comfortable with the index that you begin to learn what is and what is not in the index. Nobody's ever used that teaching approach. They just give you a book and they try to teach you shortcuts and tips, maybe a weekend crash course for $600, and they get you leaving there thinking you know this, only to sit in the exam and the first two questions you get stump you, and then that confidence level drops to crap. Not going to happen. Not going to happen in our program. I can tell you right now, I've got students who have called me the moment they left their test. Ron, one of our students that comes to our Wednesday nights, he said, Paul, because of that Fast Tracks program, because of the Wednesday nights, which are optional, and Wednesday nights optional. You don't have to come if you don't want to. But I'm here for you. He told me that he finished that test so quickly that he had enough time to do that test twice. And he went over the questions more than once. That's how proficient he was. Now, everybody learns differently. But you know what? I get more joy out of seeing a student. This student called me from his car the moment he got out of his test. Folks, I'm approachable as anybody. I've been doing this for over 30 years. People call me. Jay Grunberg was a student of mine. Me and Jay talk on a daily basis, probably. I have relationships with my students. I've been to where I've taught a seminar somewhere and students have come up to me. I've been at a trade show. They come up to me. I want you to approach me. I am just like I'm an electrician. That's it. I'm just a normal electrician. I know I get a bunch of crap from people that say, well, yeah, but you're old. You can't do it anymore. Dude, you can talk that shit, but if I had my tools strapped on and I had some studs right here, I'd show you wrong, and I'm going to be doing that later at Encore Wire because my studio's getting built. I ain't that old yet, okay? I just realized that I have a knack for teaching, and I don't feel like crawling in crawl spaces or in attics anymore at 52 years old. I just don't. I owned an electrical contracting business for years. I did it. I've got the cuts on my hand to show it. I've taped up wounds with electrical tape on my fingers like anybody else has. It just so happens that I prefer to teach the code. So for all of those people that sit there and post those comments, you teach because you can't do, how in the world could I convey a situation when you folks call me up or I teach a concept or I explain something? How could I do that if I never did it? I mean, I don't understand how somebody could do it if they didn't walk the walk at some point in their career. I don't know how they could do that. I tell people all the time. I don't know how they could do it if they didn't do it. So, as I tell people all the time, okay, I have licenses in multiple states. Okay, so I don't know. Where's my other ones that I have here? Okay, so I mean, at the end of the day, why would I talk this crap if I didn't think I had something to give to somebody? Is it just for the money? Let me tell you something. If I was rich teaching people code, then I would not have a day job at Encore Wire. Y'all hear me? Seriously, think about that. I do very well in my academy. We have tons of students. I do not sit back on my laurels. I do not run ads in magazines. I do not pay for advertising spots. I do not convince somebody like ECNM magazine to run stuff on my books or my stuff that I've written. I just do what I do. That's it. So, for those I help, that's what I get the joy out of. All right, anyway, so let me show you here. So here you're going through and you walk through everything and you just go through each question all the way till you get to the end. But when you're doing these, set a timer on your phone. That's what you're going to do the last 2 weeks. So that's my tip. Use these for the last 2 weeks. Okay. All right, so here's some blueprints. You see these down here? All these open up various blueprints, and I don't know if it'll work. I'll try and see what it looks like. I assume you can see that. I don't know. I'll have to go look and see if that's showing up. Yeah, see, there you go. So there's a blueprint. That happens to be an elevation blueprint, right? So all of that's in our program as well. So we do give you all the things that we think you need to be successful. You can download these, you can enlarge it, you can pop it out, whatever you want, we give it all to you in this program, okay? All right, so some of the features over here, again, here's a glossary. Click on different terms, main bonding jumper. Here you can see the definition of it. Tap conductors, you see the definition of it. These are also really good to create flashcards as well. Okay, so if you want to create flashcards using the glossary, that's awesome. Okay, it works really good. You're only going to get out of something what you put into it. That's it. You're going to get out what you put in. So that's what our program's all about. So if you're not sure, if you're over on TikTok and you don't know what our program is, go to youtube.com/masterthenec, and you can actually see what I'm sharing over on the screen. Okay. What else can I show you in here? Oh, also, remember, you have access, even if you're doing a competency review. Oh, wait a minute, calculations. So people ask about calcs. Let me show you. See this unit? Unit 8. In our program, the 3 toughest units, bar none, in this program is Unit 8, Unit 11, and Unit 13. Do not be surprised if you fail that competency review, because it's okay to fail. What we'll do is if you get below 70, I'm going to tell you that you need to come to Wednesday night and ask me questions on something you don't understand, okay? And I want you to be able to take the unit again, okay? Now, let me see. So, I don't even know what that is. L-Pus? Okay, so you're taking your test tomorrow. There isn't really anything last minute. In fact, here's my biggest advice to somebody. You've either studied or you haven't. You've either used a program or you haven't. If you don't know it now, you're not going to know it tomorrow. So my advice, crack a beer open, sit back, relish in all that knowledge you obtained, get a good night's sleep, and be prepared. That's the best advice I can give you. Because if you don't know it now, the night before, then you're not ready. That's the best advice I can give you, because I don't want you to be stressing out. You had to put in the preparation. I don't know how you studied, but if you put in the prep work, then you should be ready. There's nothing that you're going to learn the night before, unless there's that little thing in your head that you're not clear on, something like an adjustment or correction issue or voltage drop, that you can ask somebody. And if that's the issue, a question that's lingering in your head, that gives me the opportunity to explain another free feature, free feature that I have. And that is over on paulabernathy.com. It's free. You can submit questions to me. Any pressing questions, like on TikTok, all of you folks ask questions in the comments, but you want answers, just go to paulabernathy.com. And I will actually give you the answers. You can submit it and I will answer your questions. It's free. I'm just saying. All right. So that's kind of the synopsis of our program, but here's the load calcs. And you'll notice that I also give you forms. So this is neat too. So when you're doing load calculations in Unit 8, 11, and 13, we're going to give you a form that you should be using anytime you do our calculations in our competency review, because I'm going to give you some calcs. So unlike an exam, which is just going to give you questions, I am going to be asking you to do some calculations. All right. So here's the form. Okay. You're going to want to download this form. So let it load. Here's this form right here. So if you're over on our YouTube channel, you can see this form. Print these off. There's the standard. There's the optional. Okay. Print them off. Make extra copies of them. You can use these every time you work an example in our program. Now, it also is going to give you code references for each one of the steps. Why do we do this? Not because you get to use this on an exam. Absolutely not. You know that. But what it is it's reminding you of the steps. So that's half the battle when you take an exam, right? They're not going to ask you to calculate an entire dwelling, but they could ask you any little piece of the puzzle. So if you know how to do ranges, whether it's the standard method or whether it's a multifamily method or whatever, and they ask you, you need to understand how to do each little piece. That's what our course does. It breaks it down. Again, if you're just looking for a course that's going to give you just to give you a bunch of videos you can watch that a bunch of people are sitting at a table talking, okay, then that's not mine. If you want a course that's interactive, you're going to have to submit competency reviews. You're going to have to watch it, read it, just like what you're going to be doing in an exam. Then you want our program. If you want somebody that's going to grade your work, an active person grading your work, a real person grading your work, then you want our program. Okay? So you can download these, print them out right there. Just print them on out. Make as many copies as you want and use these anytime you're doing load calcs. Why? Because you start to learn the pieces. Because it is just a dance. That's all calculations are. It's an understanding of the way it flows. That's all. And so there you go. So that's what we have here. And so we've got some videos in here as well. And we got some drills. You can do a practice drill right there. But the key thing is we want to make sure that you do the review work. And I'm going to show you a little sneak peek of Unit 8. Here you go. Now look at here. Check this out. You're going to have to know how to do the calculation because you're going to be asked to do a calculation. Not like what you get on an exam. I am really going to test what you know. And so if you were to do this, and this is a little tip for all you that are in the Fast Trax program, when you're doing these in Unit 8, 11, and 13, print out the form. Do this using the form. It's going to make it easier for you. It really will. Here's another little tip for Fast Trax students. When we ask for something in watts or kilowatts or volt amperes, then we want the answer in that value. You with me? So, right here, for example, a 12 kW, 240 volt range contribution as blank watts to the load when calculating the service by the standard method. So, what do you think the answer to this question would be? Well, if you're looking in the code and you're thinking, well, I want to be dealing with ranges, 220.55, then if it's just one range and it's the standard method, then it's going to be 8,000 watts. But in your mind, you're thinking it's 12,000 watts. That would be true if this was the optional method, because you would take the nameplate, right? But this is a standard method. So you get to apply the table, 220.55, right? And there it says one range, okay? One range, 8,000, 8 kW. Here it wants it in watts. So if you gave me 8 kW, I would mark it wrong. Why do I mark it wrong? It's not because I'm trying to be a prick. It's because my job is to teach you to read a question and pay attention and not just go by it so quickly that you take it for granted. Again, I'm not like your normal educator. I do things for a reason. I've done it. I'm accustomed to my ways. I do it because I want you to realize that I ask you a question. I wanted you to give me an answer in watts. So the answer would be 8,000 watts. It would not be 8 kW. And yes, I know they mean the same, but that's not what I'm asking for. That's why I do it. Okay? So don't take it personally. If you get one and I mark it wrong on your competency review, remember, I'm not your enemy here. I'm trying to prepare you to be very specific when you read a question. That's why we intermix VA and watts and KW and things like that, because we want to make sure that you're actually reading the question. We also do this with feet and inches. If I want something in feet, then I need you to give it to me in feet. If you give it to me in inches, I'm going to mark it wrong. We're doing this for a reason, and it's to train your mind. That's why we call it the ballistic approach to our training, okay? But anyway, notice that this one uses a standard method here, and down here, you're going to have 4 more of them using the same content, but now you're going to be answering them in the optional method. We're going to hit you both ways, okay? Okay, so he says, but it's the same teach. It's not the same, and I'm sorry. If you think it's the same, then my program's not for you. In fact, my teaching is not for you. You know what I'm saying? And my teaching's not for everybody. And I've offended a lot of people in my career, and that's okay. There is a difference. At the end of the day, in the field, 8 kW is the same as 8,000 watts, but it's not on an exam. It's not. On an exam, if they want it to be in watts, you give it in watts. If they want it in kW, you give it in kW. My job is to teach you to read the question. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay? A lot of people don't need the program, Ronnie, but a lot of people don't know the code either. So you hover around TikTok too long, you'll realize that by reading some of the comments. You know what I'm saying? All right, so at any rate, that's what we do, and that's what the program is all about. And so there you go. That's a lot of information. We go over general provisions. We test you on that. We drill you on that. Don't forget to do the drills. There's a lot of drills in here. And so, again, there's so much involved in the program. Now, real quick, I will take you over and show you the website so that people are confused about the difference between the Fast Trax Black and what the Plus is. I just want to make sure I clear that up for folks so that they understand what that is. Okay, so this is our website. It's electricalcodeacademy.com, okay? And here, if you join the Fast Trax Plus program, you'll get into what's called the members only area, right? Now, if you're not a member, you won't see it. Here's what it'll look like. You go to click it, and that's what you'll see. It'll just say sign up or log in. You got to be a member, okay? So let's see, let me go back to the home. All right, now, but once you do become a member, then you'll get access to training videos. You'll get access to certain mini courses. So let me show you some mini courses. So that's the difference. Fast Trax Plus gives you access to everything on our website. The Fast Trax Black is the exam prep that we just did. All the plus is I'm welcoming you into the family over on my website. That's it. I'm welcoming you into the Electrical Code Academy family. Okay. So here is, so let me show you what it looks like. So if I were to do training videos and I'm not a member, let me log in and show you what it looks like. So let me log in. Kind of show you what it looks like. Okay, so now, once you're a member, you'll see your peer up here. Okay, so here's my name, right? And so you go to members only. I'll click on it. It's a little slow, we go. So, oops, so you got your members only. You got all these links to all the videos. So I'll go on and just click the Fast Trax Weekly. So here you get to see a repository of, this is great, because these, if you're preparing for an exam, these are invaluable. Now, anytime you see video unavailable, just click it here and you can watch it because we might have moved it from private to open public. So you still can watch it. You just click right here. But all these here, you can see these are from recently recorded Wednesday night sessions, right? And it's basically you sitting in the room with us. And you can come to our live sessions on Wednesday nights, or, you know, you can go back and watch. Here's my Conductor's Ampacity 101 session. So I click this just to show you.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so here you go. Look, Trax night. It's would be like me to be rambling on for 15 minutes before we get started, but thank you all for joining us tonight. So first thing I like to go into is look at that fire. That's awesome. All right, so you get to enlarge these and watch the videos, okay? Okay. Wednesday nights, we do it at 7:30 Central Standard Time. And you can come and go as you want. I start at 7:30. Sometimes we're on for about 2 hours. Sometimes, as many of my students will tell you, sometimes I'm longer than that. But we're a minimum of usually about 2 hours I'm on. So you could pop in and leave, come back later, come in after you get off of work, anything like that. But again, there's an endless repository here of different videos. So you can go watch all these videos. Then you can come back up here and go to the exam prep only button. And here you're going to get a bunch of other videos on our Transformer series. There you go. Raceway fill. We've got ampacity adjustment and corrections. Here's my motors. Here's box fill, pull box, voltage drop, range calculations. You get all of this. Okay. Now, let me clarify. Fast track students don't get this. This is your monthly subscription and annual, and those that get what's called the Fast Tracks Plus. Okay? The Fast Tracks program, the black, that's just the program I showed y'all earlier. That's that. If you want access to all of the private videos and things like that, then you either get the Plus program, which is exactly how it sounds. It's the Fast Tracks Black plus this. If you just want to do the monthly subscription, it's $9.99 a month. You can cancel it anytime. Get your binge it. If you're really not able to do the Fast Tracks program, but you're testing in a week or 2 or 3, then maybe you join the Fast Tracks annual or monthly. And then you get to watch all these videos and get your juices flowing for your exam. I have tons of people who have passed their exams using my videos. I'm serious. But they're all here. Also, podcasts. If you want a place to get to some exclusive podcasts, they're all here as well. So some of these podcasts are here. If you want to look at the 2020 NEC specific, then I've got a bunch of videos here. Here I dissect each article. Here I got one on bonding, service bonding, equipment grounding conductors, supply side bonding, bundling, all these different topics, as you can see here, that we've covered over the years, okay? And these are all relevant to 2020 NEC, but I've got 2017 ones as well. You get a sneak peek at the residential program here. As you can see, you can be quite busy. In fact, I think with our videos, you can watch my videos nonstop for an entire year, binge watch them, and you'll never watch them all. That's how many videos are up there, okay? So there you see, there's a bunch of other videos, and we're getting ready to start the 2023 videos. Now, here's the one thing. If you're over here and you're watching on YouTube, you'll notice that we have an extensive series on 680, and I did this with a guest of mine who came to the studio, Vince Delacroce, a great guy. Both of us serve on Code Panel 17, and he was in the studio, and we did this. This is worth the price of an annual subscription alone. Okay, it's $119 for a year. We like to think that that's just a thank you because it's worth more than that. But people that buy the annual, it's really their way of saying thanks, and they get access to everything. Plus, they can come to Wednesday nights if they want. But this series right here on swimming pools is worth it by itself. Here you see me do one on box fill. Here you see my grounding and bonding series. This was 12 hours of video, okay? So there's a bunch of stuff here, okay? And we're constantly adding new stuff. You can cancel at any time if you want. No hard feelings. We welcome you back when new content comes, okay? Now, the other thing that you get access to as a annual or monthly subscriber is these programs. You get also, these are free, by the way. You can do some quizzes. Did y'all know that? I actually have some free quizzes for you over on our website. All you got to do is go to our website, electricalcodeacademy.com. Up at the top, you see mini courses. Click the mini courses, and you can come down and you'll see that I actually have some courses for you, some practice exams. Okay. So you got some, there you go. Check them out. So, any rate. Then you got some tutorials. Okay. That type of thing. All right. So that's our website. Now, some people have asked, for those that are still watching, where do you go to get our continuing education credits if you want to do a license renewal? Right here, it says CEU credits. You click on that, and it'll pull up this interactive map, and you just click on the state that you're on, and you'll get a link to our partner, My CEU Depot, that has continuing education if you need to get continuing education credits. So we have that available on this website. Again, that's electricalcodeacademy.com. Also, for those that say you have the states that have business law, okay, and you're struggling with that, you go to our courses, you highlight over it, scroll down, you'll see where it says business law. You click on it. Here are the states that have a law component: Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, and Kentucky. Now, in Hawaii and Kentucky, we only give you access to the books you need. But all these other ones have an online course that you can get. Okay? So, we're even giving you those resources, but it's not included in our normal program. Okay? So where can you find out about our Fast Tracks program? Just go to electricalcodeacademy.com, right? Or you can go to fasttrackssystem.com. And here at the top, you'll see a link that says Fast Tracks Black. You just click it. That's it. And there you go. And you'll have an option. You can read a little bit. You can watch the demo. I encourage everybody to watch my demo. Watch the product demo, because I go through the course. All right. If you want to take a tutorial, I actually have a tutorial on our program as well. Now, I'll just do that so you folks can see it. I'll click tutorial. Check this out. So here's the tutorial. There's 13 steps in it. You get started, and it walks your way through all of the things that are in the program. Okay? So I even give you a tutorial that explains everything that we cover in here. Okay? So that's available to you as well. So now, if you want to get the program, all you do, and this shows you what's in each unit. Here's a notice that tells you about the Fast Tracks Plus and what's included. And again, a notice about the live sessions. And then here's the pricing on the screen currently for our program. Notice the asterisk. That includes a 12-month access to the members only area, right? And then here you choose the program that's for your state. In other words, what state, what code edition your state is testing on, right? So if you're testing in the 2017 code and you want the Plus program because you want that annual access to all the videos as well, then you click that. If you want just the Fast Tracks Black, then you click the Fast Tracks Black. Whatever you want. Oh, one other thing I didn't show you. We have just recently added this as well. For those on TikTok, if you can't see the screen, go over to youtube.com/masterthenec. Okay? So if you do that, up here, check this out. What you'll notice is, let me see if I can get you over. Under members only, you see this tab that says training video right here. You click on training videos and watch what it shows. You also get access to newer videos, ones that we have just recently put out. Check this out. So you can play the videos in this viewer. You can enlarge it. These you won't find anywhere else, because these are in our own Viddle system. And this is where we're moving. All of my videos are getting migrated over to what we call Viddle, and it's our own proprietary video launching system. Okay? So, but I want you to see this. So here you've got a box fill. This is a pull box. Here's box fill. Here's a calculation series when it comes to cooking equipment. This one's for the branch circuit. This one is for the actual service or feeder. Here you've got calculation series doing the optional method. And you see that I've got it for the standard method. All of those videos are there. they're only available on our platform that if you're a member. That's all you can get access to it. So if you're a member, you'll be able to see these videos. Now, if you subscribe to my website, you will still get to click, okay? Because if you want to just be a subscriber to the site without being a paid subscriber, then subscribe to the site, okay? You can join. You'll have a little button up here that says join. And join. Or you can click on that when you're not a member. You click on members only and it allows you to join. But unless you pay, you won't get access to all of it. But if you do join just the website, you get to watch about, I don't know, it's maybe 2 minutes of a video if you want. You get to watch it. And then you can decide whether or not you want to join or not. So for example, let me just go back here. So let's do box fill. I'll click on it. Now watch here on the screen. All right, so those that are watching this, for those that are on TikTok, come on over, and Jay's on there. Jay wants to go live with me. I don't even know how that works, Jay, but I'm going to click it. Welcome back to our calculation series. This video is dedicated to box fill requirements. So what are we talking about? We're talking about box fill 6 gauge and
That don't work, Jay. I don't know how that works.
And
so anyway,
what we do with them inside
here
of
you
a
see me,
junction
folks
box,
that are watching me over on
what we
YouTube.
do inside of a switch box, generally a
See,
device
that's
box.
a little
all
different
this type of stuff. So
platform.
that's what we're focusing on today. We're not talking about pull boxes dealing with conductors that are larger than 6, say 4 and
Now
larger.
you can also make this large screen. So again, that is just something that's a bonus in the program for those that become members. And we're always adding new videos here as well. Okay, so those on TikTok, I want y'all to go over to youtube.com/master the NEC. All right, so there you go. That's a little bit more of what you get as far as videos. All right, so there you go. Now, as far as our other programs, you can see here, if you hover over it, now this says Master Electrician 2. It's exact same program. It's just a different link, so don't get thrown by that. Same program. Here you see our grounding and bonding program, electrical theory, bundle. What is the bundle? People have asked me what the bundle is. So the bundle is where it's a 2-year certification program. You get access to residential, commercial, industrial, and the Fast Trax Black. You can substitute any one of those for the purple or the yellow program if you want. Now, this program here, these are $899 if you want to get 2017 and 2020. That means you get 8 courses. Or you can do the 2017 or 2020 for $749. The benefit to that is it gives you 2 years. 2. Okay? So, So, you know, that type of thing, whatever. So at the end of the day, it gives you access to everything, right? So that's the Fast Trax, and that's the orange program, okay? No CEU credits, but what you do is you get a certificate of completion, and you can use that for promotion, raises. It's just going to make you a better person that understands the code and how they apply, okay? So that's that. You've got one other class we have on here is Tradesmen Soft Skills, right? So you can learn how to manage yourself, greet people, how to do job site stuff, you know, how to interact. That is a program called Soft Skills. That's available as well. So all of that's available. Also under the More tab, you get access to other things like licensing requirements. So this is a pretty neat one. If you click under here for licensing requirements, if you click it, let me show you if you're watching over on YouTube. Here you see that you get to pick your state. So this is pretty cool. You get to pick what state you're in, and it will show you the licensing requirements for your state. So here's Texas. So Texas has a license for all of these different classifications. Right, and these are clickable links right here. By the way, see where the penis, whatever, I think it's called a penal hand or penal hand, whatever it's called. It's this symbol, and whatever, or well, I guess pointer, but it's called a pinnacle or something. Pinnacle. whatever. Anyway, it points to it, and you can click on it. Okay, I can't keep it the pointer. The pointer's like that. So anyway, there's the finger. So you can do it, and you click on it. It will take you to that state, and you can read their requirements. Okay, but here it kind of tells you the hours and everything, and see if you've got enough hours to take the exam, right? So that's here as well. And you could do this with every state. And you go right there as well. Okay. What else do you get here? Let's see here. You want to find out about me and you don't know who I am, and you want to find out more about me if you care, then you go under more. There's a little button here called Founder. You can click on the Founder button, and it kind of gives you a little bit of synopsis of me and gives you kind of some of the certifications and things that I have. And that's me with a picture of, y'all probably recognize that gentleman. I was a Top Gun. And of course, you see some of my patents here. That's not all of them there, but that's 3 of them there. So yeah, all of that information is there. So much stuff that you can get here. Now, lastly, let's go on and show you where you can submit things for free. So I'm going to go to Paul Abernathy. Let's see, I got to type. All right, so I'm not sure what this looks like on the screen, so let me go back real quick. Okay, so see what this is on the screen? For those that are following over on the YouTube and everything, and those that are on TikTok, go over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/master the NEC. This is called the Let's Ask Paul portal. Put your name in there, your last name, your email address, and put your question in there. And all you got to do is click the submit button. That's it. Right there. Submit your question. You can even listen to the podcast here as well. There's a listen button here on this website as well. In fact, you can't see it. I'll scroll up a little bit. There you go, right there. See there? It says listen now. So you can listen as well from this website if you would like to. But you can also download our app for free. Where do you get my app? You're asking. I know that's the next question you're asking. Okay, Paul, where do I get the app? Okay, well, that's another website. Let's go to that. So that's called necchat.com. And here you can't really see the website real well, so I will go on and do this for you since we're ending it up pretty quickly. Show you what you got. For those that are not familiar with it. There you go. So let's see if I can get a little bit more in here. Bear with me here while I make it a little bit easier for you folks to see. Okay, so if you go to www.necchat.com, you'll have a link that you can download our app, put it on your phone. You'll get access to the Sparky Hub. You'll get access to videos if you're a member. You'll get access to all the podcasts directly from the app. You can ask questions to me via the app. You can even watch our live streams via the app, actually. There's so much that you can do on there. You can look at our courses from there. Again, everything is accessible with the app on your phone. Just go to www.necchat.com. The NEC, believe it or not, stands for National Electrical Collective. And that is my opportunity to compile all of the information as we move forward in the collective. That's why you see all my videos going to Viddle, which is our own proprietary platform that we use on our website now for videos. The app, everything is coming in-house, and that's why we're doing it that way. So if you want to get it, there you go. And so all the information here is available to you. Okay. Somebody asked about a one-hole strap orientation. I don't know it matters except for asking the manufacturer. The manufacturer will give guidance. They're the ones that get the listing on the strap, and they'll tell you the proper way. Be honest with you, as an inspector, I don't really care which way you do the one-hole strap as long as it's doing its job. Okay. So this is where you get the free app. It's free. Download it. Hopefully you get something out of it. Okay, let's come back to me real quick and I'll wrap this up. Okay, look, at the end of the day, there's a lot of information about our program. It's a lot of stuff. I encourage you to go to our website, electricalcodeacademy.com, .net, or .org. I encourage you to go to fasttracksystem.com. Either one will take you to where you need to be. Watch our video. And if you have any questions about our Fast Tracks program, email us. Reach out to us. There's a Contact Us feature on our website. Or go to paulabernathy.com and ask your questions there. And I will create a podcast. Or I will answer your questions via email. I am very approachable, and I try to answer questions. So if you want a detailed history of a question, then all you got to do is go over to paulabernathy.com and type your questions. Hey, you with the strap. Go over and send your question in. I'll research it and give you a more detailed answer. Maybe some relevancy to it. Maybe a little history. I don't know. But that feature is available over at paulabernathy.com. Okay? Anyway, that's all I'm going to do for today. Hopefully you got something out of it. It was long. Thanks for staying with me. And hopefully you got something out of today's episode. And if you're in the Fast Tracks program, maybe you're just going to maneuver it a little bit better. If you're thinking about getting into the program, we look forward to seeing you and helping you be successful in your career. That's what we're all about. Okay? All right, folks. Till next time, stay safe. God bless. Peace.